What's going on, guys? So today we're looking at kind of an oddball knife, a little bit harder to find. This is not something you're just going to pick up at the knife dealer. But I was offered this in trade a few months back, and it was quite interesting because it was brand new to me. This is from a company, HMC, which stands for Helio Machine Collective. And they have an awesome logo. Just gonna throw that out there. All right, so here's the front of the box. Very cool design there. I love it. All right, so let's back out here for a second. Look at the packaging since I'm here looking at it. All right, so you can see it's just a regular old box. We have a little plastic, and then we have a very nice velvet kind of insert. All right, so nice presentation. All right, especially if you're a collector of sorts. But I, have some collector in me and mostly user, so I took this one out and started using it. And now I'm here giving my opinions on it. So let's put this box off to the side. Take a look at the actual knife. This one is their Transient Micro. This was offered in a couple different looks, I guess, a couple different designs. This one has the plain scales. This is a little guy, so let's get a good zoom on here so you can see what we're looking at. There was some other versions that had holes in it. There was several different finish colors as well. This one is not actually made by HMC. This was outsourced, so it was their design that was produced by BladeHQ. All right, so BladeHQ is a very high-end Chinese manufacturer. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with them. I've been extremely impressed with BladeHQ knives. Every single one I've ever had has really been very, very high quality. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool that companies can work with them to produce basically their designs at a cheaper rate. Cheaper. Now this is not cheap. These sold for, I think, $275 when they were available, and that was a while back. These have not been available for a while, so I'd imagine prices just went up on them, and they're definitely going to be harder to find. But compared to the custom version of the Transient Micro, it's cheap. All right, the customs are obviously very expensive. Now, I don't have an exact price offhand, but I'd say 500 plus on the original versions of them. All right, this has a 2.5 inch blade. There's a little flipper here, as you can see. 2.5 inches of CPM S35 VN. All right, very awesome design, very, very pointy, very, very sharp. All right, just an awesome performing knife, albeit tiny. Now this is a tiny little guy. It is very, very high quality, but in a small little package. All right, they don't call it a micro for nothing. I had even mentioned in a separate video that even though it's called micro, I was still surprised at how small it was when I actually got it. But anyway, again, 2.5 inches on our blade, 3.1 inches in the closed position here, all right, and 5.6 inches overall when open. All right, so it is definitely, I mean, you can see in my hand here, it's a small little knife, right? This is like, oh man, I should have brought out maybe like a Kershaw chive or something. It's a little longer than a chive, but that's like the range we're talking here, all right? So this is not going to be like your big hard use EDC. If you're looking for a small little lightweight knife, this is extremely high quality, and I love everything about this knife except the fact that it's small. I know after using this that I would absolutely love the full-size Transient. All right, I like the design a lot. I like everything about it. Let me zoom back in here for some more detail. You can see that there's jimping both on the blade as well as the handle scales right here. All right, so if you want to hold it up tighter, there's jimping on the back, which is very purposeful. You get an amazing grip here. All right, your hand is not moving anywhere. But there is obviously a finger choil, all right, so you can hold it back here as well, and same deal, you're getting even more grip. But this is a flipper, but even though it's a flipper, you see the cutout there, so if you want to manually open it, you could do so, but because of its small size, it's a little bit harder to do with the one finger. I just found naturally when I was playing around with it that just using the two fingers, the middle and the thumb, it's just easier to pinch that, all right, to initiate getting it open. Once it is open, locks up perfectly. There's no play in any direction. All right, there's a lock bar stabilizer, even though it's a teeny tiny little lock bar. All right, you can see the pocket clip design. Very cool. I do like it. It does work totally fine. Let me give you a side profile here. All right, but there's good tension on it. Unlike a lot of different, clips on more custom designs, sometimes they tend to be really stiff. You know what I mean? Especially when they're titanium. But overall, I really like this knife. All right, you have a clean pivot side. All right, so all of our hardware is on the other side. It's just really nice. I like everything about it. I wish I tried the full size. That's really what it comes down to. Now this knife is super smooth, but I do have an issue with the flipper. because of the low profile flipper on here, you have to have the right angle. And what I found is if I just grab this, and it is jimped, it is easy to grab, and there's a lot of texture there. But when I grab this and just try to pull down, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes if I'm at the wrong angle, like pulling down, if I'm in a little bit, or if I'm too far out a little bit, it wants to bind and it just holds. It holds tight and it just hurts the finger because it's not flipping out easily. So it is finicky as far as the angle. You could definitely get used to that. But what I've done is I've used my fingernail, and no matter what angle I pull, if I grab the fingernail, all right, and just grab the end there, it pops out every time. So it's just something random that I started doing with this particular one. You may not have an issue with it, but I did. Now, even though this guy is tiny, this would be the perfect fifth pocket in your jeans knife, a little backup knife, for two reasons. Number one, because it's so small. But even though I EDC this for a few days, it was a little awkward being on the much smaller side. I'm used to much larger folders. And you can totally EDC this if you want like a lightweight little option. That's totally fine. Some people don't like big bulky knives. But for me, because again of this blade profile being so acute, so pointy, all right, maybe your EDC knife has a broader blade and a little bit better for harder use. You don't have to worry about damaging the tip. But then you get into a situation where you have a little splinter or you really need like a very fine point. Having this as a backup is absolutely perfect with that blade. All right, again, being so slender and so pointy, this can definitely do a lot of different stuff that your regular EDC might not be able to do. Overall, I think it's a really cool knife. Again, after using this, I know I would absolutely love the full-size Transient, and I know that I definitely want to try some more stuff in the future from HMC. So let me know down in the comment section, do you guys have knives from HMC, the customs, maybe some of these versions where they're outsourcing it to other companies like Bestech? Very, very impressive. Again, just my overall feeling on this knife is I wish it was bigger because I love everything about it except for its size, but its size alone might be why some people like it. But I mean, as far as quality, it is all quality. It's a very cool, very well-made knife. I just wish it was bigger. Full size one of those, I'd be rocking that all the time for EDC. But for me, it's just a little bit on the small side for your go-to choice. But anyway, that's it. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Again, down in the comment section, let me know if you have any cutlery from HMC. I'm curious to hear about other models and other people's experience from them. Pretty impressive. It's definitely on my radar now. So if I ever get a chance to trade for one in the future, I'll probably jump on it. Just curious to see what they have to offer in some other designs. But anyway, that's all. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take it easy, guys.